Neighbors, today we're gonna do karaage. We've done karaage a few times on this channel, but these are one of those recipes that I love to eat at home, and so I'm always testing out new recipes. Now, I found one recipe. I was like busy looking at going through Japanese YouTube, and there was one person who came with this recipe that included a secret ingredient called nutmeg.
Isn't that what we use in eggnog?
Yeah, I think that's the only time I've seen nutmeg being actively used. So, trust me guys, we tried this recipe and it's really rocking. Karaage at home, it's much easier than frying like a whole thing of fried chicken with bone in. I love it, tasty morsels. If you like karaage, try out this recipe. All right neighbors, we're gonna work with chicken thigh, bone out, skin on. If the chicken at your supermarket comes with the skin off, that's fine as well. It's not a requirement. We're gonna work with 400 grams, but we're gonna do enough marinade, so if you wanna do a 500 grams, that's fine as well. But Daniel, can I use chicken breast as well? Yes, you lose a lot of flavor because the skin is not there, but yes, you can do it with chicken breast. All right, when we do karaage, don't cut these guys into too small strips because when you put it in oil, the meat is gonna shrink a lot. So what I like to do, just measure the width of 2 fingers and that should be good. So a piece like that, that's great. All right. Cut with the sharp knife so it goes through the skin and you cut the skin very precisely. Don't be too aggressive and have the skin rip off because later when we go to fry, I'm going to like kind of tuck the meat underneath the skin and then we're gonna dip into the oil like that and it just makes the karaage look beautiful. We're gonna move them to a mixing bowl. All right neighbors, we're gonna start off with 3 tablespoons of soy sauce. It's 1, 3. Then we're gonna mix that soy sauce with some sake, 1 tablespoon in. For all my Korean viewers, you can substitute sake with cheongju if you don't want to buy sake. I'm sure a lot of Koreans have cheongju in their refrigerator. Then 1 tablespoon of mirin. This is gonna add a little bit of sweetness to our soy sauce as well as our sake. Then I like to add like 3 big pinches of salt. This just amplifies the flavor, gets a little bit more salty. And then we're gonna add around 5 shakes of nutmeg powder. So 1, 2, 5. I'm gonna add 2 more taps because the first one wasn't that great. And then our fresh ingredients, we're gonna use some ginger. Say about half the size of your thumb. Hopefully you don't have humongous sausage fingers. And then same thing, let's grate 1 garlic clove. And neighbors, I've tried this without nutmeg as well. It tastes great. All right, then let's get everything tossed in. Be gentle so that you don't tear off the skin. Now we need all that marinade to go into the meat. I would recommend at least 30 minutes to soak. I'm gonna just put like a little food plastic bag over the top so that it sits in the marinade like this. And you can just let it sit at room temperature, no worries. We're gonna fry this soon anyways. And neighbors, while we wait, we could set up a pan where we're gonna dredge. We're gonna cover those chicken thighs in potato starch powder. Now I know some people may not be able to find potato starch. If it's hard, just use cornstarch powder. Just pour a good amount in. All right, it's been at least 30 minutes, about 45 minutes for me. The hardest thing is waiting here. I could have given it a full hour, but I want some karaage. Now, if you look at some recipe, they'll add the starch flour right into the marinade and then mix everything up so it becomes a little bit sticky and you get a coating on the outside. But I think that's too much batter. I like it a little bit thinner. So what I recommend instead is you're gonna grab 1 piece, shake off any extra liquid, and then we're gonna go directly into the starch powder and then get it nicely coated. And then a key step, you want to tap off the extra powder. We don't want too much. All right guys, and then what I want you to do is, this is the skin side up. I can still see the skin. Kind of like a ball. I want you to place them skin side up and let them rest on the side. Okay, this is gonna help us later when we go to fry so that it gets a nice shape. Tap off any extra. Okay, tap it off. Skin side. All right, after you've done everything, give it around 5 minutes to rest. That way it turns dry, right? Dry means crispy. I'm gonna move it to another pan just so it looks a little bit prettier and take a look. All of our karaage, the skin side is up and they're gonna fry so beautifully. All right, before we fry, you definitely wanna set up a little bit of a drying rack. That way the fried chicken, it can sit on here and then it could drip off any excess oil off of itself. If it sits in its own pooled oil, the skin starts to turn mushy. And I'm gonna reuse some of the oil I've been using the past few weeks. I've been trying to test out different recipes. I'm gonna need a little bit more, so I'm gonna add a little bit more new oil. You might be wondering what's to the left. I think we made some curry last night. Karaage with curry. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be wonderful. For karaage, we're gonna double fry. So once at a lower temperature, heat on. This is the skin side down. We're gonna drop it in like that, okay? Don't do everything at once. I'm gonna put it in a chopstick. See if it starts to boil. Nope, not yet. Drop a little piece in and see if it boils. All right, starting to sizzle a little bit. Like I said, skin side down, and then we'll drop it in. Drop it, drop another one. Good. For the first fry, we're not trying to get color. We're just trying to cook the inside. It should take around a minute. Around 1 minute is good. We'll take them out. And when you set them down, I want you to put the skin side up, right? Because the oil will start to fall, but if it falls into the skin and it's on the bottom, it's gonna make it soggy. Beautiful, beautiful. Do you see all those oils going? You see all that moisture is locked in? All right, that was after the first fry. I want a little bit more color. Clean out the top. We're gonna just let the oil heat up. The temperature will climb. All right, I think it's pretty hot now. And then now back in for the second fry. About 30 seconds. Take a look at these guys. That's 30 seconds. Oh my goodness. Woo! I like where it's at, y'all. I'm gonna flip them back over to their skin side up. And neighbors, take a look at this karaage. The outside skin is not too thick, right? Not too much batter. I don't like that too much. Very thin. This is just like Tokyo style izakaya. I love it. Oh my gosh. All we gotta do is plate. Before you plate, guys, of course you gotta taste it fresh out of the oil. Seriously, the best karaage I've ever made in my life. I'm telling you, neighbors, I might make you cry. Put some of the Japanese mayo, Kewpie, a little bit in the center. There it is. This is like the best karaage you'll ever have in your life. Katie, I want you to give a taste. This one right here. A little bit of lemon on top. Forget plating. It's going to cool down. I want you to try it right now. Katie, take one. Come on.
Okay, are you ready?
Taste it without it. Taste it without it.
Without it?
Yeah.
I'll see. 이건 뭐야? I love it.
It's amazing, right?
So much crunchiness.
I'm going to basically slice through this and show you how juicy it is. See, the top side, it's like a thin layer of extra crispiness. I don't like a thick layer. Like, I don't want to bite into KFC style.
It's not thick at all, but it's enough to contain the crispiness.
Exactly. Slice it through. Guys, you see that? You see all that juice?
It's not dry at all.
I know. Oh my gosh, mamma mia. Itadakimasu.
Itadakimasu. And I love the coating here. It's like not like greasy, not overly greasy.
Neighbors, this karaage is like unbelievably good. I know every YouTuber says that when they make their recipe, but I've tried a lot and
you watch a lot of karaage videos.
I know. Sometimes I gotta just watch food videos before I sleep, you know? That little pinch of nutmeg, amazing. If you
I don't know where nutmeg is in this recipe, but it just tastes so good.
Well, yes, if it tasted like nutmeg, I don't think we would be out of business, okay? I really want you to try this out. There are some recipes that I really want you to try out. This one's a winner. Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
We should eat this with our curry.
Oh, yeah. You know what? We're gonna make a meal. I leave it at this. And whether you eat it with some beer or you mix it up with some curry, it's up to you, but phenomenal. Brings me back to Izakaya nights in Tokyo.